What's up, TTC? What's up, Steeler Nation? This is Josh back here. This is my 2015 review on the Pittsburgh Steelers. We're going to break down the free agents that the Steelers have, who we should bring back, who we should let go, and some guys that I have in the middle that I just don't know about. I'm going to talk about the draft. I'm going to talk about a little bit of everything here. I am one half of the tag team champions. Shout out to MacMan70. My prayers go out to him. He has illness in his family, and I just want to give a shout out to him real quick, holding it down for my tag team partner. All right, MacMan, what's up, bud? All right. The story of the 2015 Steelers really, injuries, man. Injuries really hurt us this year. But injuries happen to every team. That's not an excuse. We could have went farther, I feel, if we had different players. If we had healthy players. I do feel that. We made it to the second round of the playoffs. We were the last team in the AFC North in the playoffs. If you don't win the Super Bowl, your season's a loss to me. That's just how I feel. But I felt like, we had a good team this year, man. We did. We had a good team this year. We had a tough schedule, and we were able to overcome a lot of injuries to get into the playoffs. Shout out also to the Buffalo Bills. I never got the chance to shout out to the Bills for helping us even get into the playoffs. But anyway, Mike Tomlin is my guy. I was critical of him during the season because there was a couple of calls that I just didn't agree with. But he's my guy. He's got his winning record speaks for itself. Everybody, a lot of Steelers fans are still on Bill Cowher's balls. Shout out to Bill Cowher, he was a great coach for the Steelers, but I just don't think it's fair how they compare him and Tomlin. But it is what it is. Tomlin's my coach. Now let's get into the free agents, man. We got a ton of free agents this year. I'm not sure about Wheaton. I don't know if he's a free agent this year or not. If he is, definitely got to sign him. But anyway, I'm going to go through some names here. I wrote them down because we got a lot of free agents this year, no doubt. So let's run through them. These are the guys that I feel that we need to keep and that we need to let go. The first one is Steve McClendon at defensive tackle. We're pretty much thin at that position. I think you need to re-sign him. And I also think this is a position that we need to look at in the draft, maybe second round, maybe first round if it's available, because we're very thin there. We have McClendon and Big Dan. I think if we was able to get a very good defensive tackle next to Cam Hayward and Stephon Tuitt, man, that would be awesome. You know what I'm saying? But I say keep Steve McClendon. Next up is Cam Thomas. Cam Thomas come over a couple years ago from the Chargers. Really hasn't done anything. He did have that fumble recovery in the playoff game against Cincinnati. That's about all he's done. So I think he's a guy that you can just let go. Just let go, man. Next up is Roman Foster, offensive lineman. He's a decent offensive lineman. I think our offensive line coach, Mike Munchak, has done a great job with our offensive linemen that we have. And I definitely think you need to bring him back. Now, a lot of people, with Ben Roethlisberger, you could have 5 Pro Bowlers on the offensive line. But as much as he hangs onto the ball, he's going to get sacked. So I think we're going to bring back Roman Foster. William Gay. Anybody knows me knows I'm a fan of William Gay. He went to college right here in Louisville. Early in his career he struggled, but he's come on late. He tied Rod Woodson for the most pick six in Steelers history, and he's pretty much the only damn good player we got in the secondary. I think you have to bring him back, especially with the holes that we have in our secondary. So William Gay got to come back. Kevin Beecham, you know how good this guy is. He got hurt this year. I believe he was a 7th-round pick, but he's really delivered. Definitely got to sign him. Bruce Gradkowski. We're thin at quarterback. I think we'll have to look at one in the draft. I guess you bring this guy back. I guess you bring him back. You got to have somebody back there. You got to have somebody back there, man. I guess bring him back. Antoine Blake by playing 25 yards off the receiver. He's just not it. He's terrible. He did have a pick six against San Diego. But that was about all he did all year long. And I don't see why there would even be a reason to bring this cat back. That's just my opinion. Will Johnson, fullback. We really don't use the fullback that much. So I think you could let him walk. Especially the new cat, what's his name, Nix. I think he played good. I believe he's still with us. We have so many free agents this year, dude. It's really been hard for me to keep up with. So I think you could let Will Johnson go. Or you could bring him back for cheap. It really don't matter to me. I don't think. Robert Golden, I think he's a decent backup. I would re-sign him as well. Brandon Boykin, definitely re-sign. I'll definitely bring him back. Hayward Bay, if Sammy Coates can develop into being a decent receiver, I think Hayward Bay could walk. You could let him go as well. Hayward Bay will make a play here and there, but he has a tendency to drop passes that he should catch. We had, with the wide receiver core that we have, I think you could let him walk. Really do. I know a lot of Steelers fans probably won't agree with me on that. It's cool. It's just my opinion. Sean Spence. Sean Spence, definitely. I think the Steelers need to re-sign. I think Sean Spence is one of the most underrated linebackers that we have. But with Timmons and Shazier coming on, will they re-sign Spence? I don't know, but I think you definitely re-sign him. Where we at? Greg Warren, long snapper. You got to re-sign him, I guess. People don't really understand how important that position is. So he's been pretty decent for us, and I think we should bring him back. Terrence Garvin, another decent player on special teams, backup linebacker. Bring him. I would re-sign him for cheap if you could. Todman, I believe he's fourth string running back. I don't know. Le'Veon gets hurt. He keeps getting hurt. You got to have running backs, but I just don't think he is the answer. Mike Adams, offensive lineman, was hurt most of the year. Drafted the same year we drafted DeCastro. I'm in the middle with him. He's one of those guys I'm in the middle with. I don't know if I want to. I would guess I would keep him for depth at the offensive line. The same goes for Will Allen. I think Will Allen, in the beginning of the year, he played really well, but man, he just, I don't know about Will Allen, man. I just don't. In this secondary, I think there needs to be a lot of changes. Will Allen's getting older. If you could bring him in cheap to maybe be a backup, I don't know what's up with Shamarko Thomas. This guy just was supposed to be very good and hasn't done anything. He does bonehead shit on special teams. So I don't know. I'm in the middle with him. Last free agent, Mike Vick. We all know Mike Vick needs to go. I don't hate Mike Vick. I don't hate Mike Vick at all. He came in, beat the Chargers for us. Helped beat the Chargers for us. Le'Veon beat the Chargers for us. Let's get that right. But I think his better days are past him, and I think he should retire. So that at the quarterback position, in my opinion, that will leave us with Ben, Gronkowski, and Landry Jones. I'm not a fan of Landry Jones. I mean, he had a game against Arizona where Martavis Bryant basically won the game. But I definitely think we need to look at a quarterback somewhere in the draft. Definitely. If not this year, definitely next year. I'll get to Ben Roethlisberger here in a little bit. You know, I've been hearing a lot of free agent talk, like who's going to come in. We all know Pittsburgh's not one of those teams that goes out and, really wants to sign big-time free agents. I've heard Eric Weddle's name come up. I've heard Von Miller's name come up. But, Von Miller probably fell some test down somewhere. So is he worth it? I don't know, man. He's a damn good linebacker, but you know what it is. I mean, I'd love to have him on the team. That's just my opinion. We'll just have to wait and see, man. All right. I want to talk about some players here that the Steelers really need to think about in the future. The first one, I know I'm going to get some people mad here, but Maurkice Pouncey. Maurkice Pouncey, when healthy, is probably the best center in football. But he's hurt just as much as he's healthy, and he's getting paid big-time money. Cody Wallace stepped in and did a pretty good job this year, I thought. Is it time to move on from Maurkice Pouncey? In my opinion, yes. I think it's time. But it's not up to me. Heath Miller, another one that's due to make a lot of money this year, getting older in his career. I would like to see Heath Miller leave, retire Steeler when he wants to, if that makes sense. But we seen last year with Troy Polamalu. We might see the same thing with Heath Miller this year. James Harrison, not sure about if he's going to come back, but you got him for cheap. He's second all time in sacks for the Steelers. He's a great teacher. If you can, and he wants to come back, definitely bring him back. I know it'll be 38 now, but it is what it is. Antonio Brown, we got to get this long-term deal done with him. I want to see a long-term deal done with him before Le'Veon Bell. We all know Le'Veon Bell is going to want a whole lot of money, but Le'Veon Bell has to finish a whole season, in my opinion. That's not a knock on Le'Veon Bell. Le'Veon Bell is a great running back, but Pittsburgh just thinks this man's supposed to do it all. I don't understand why they didn't split. Like, you see how D. Will played after Le'Veon. Why wasn't feed him the ball like that with Le'Veon at the same time, at the risk of injury to Le'Veon? There's no, you know what I'm saying, man. Damn. Le'Veon is a beast. Just got to stay healthy. And we'll just have to wait and see with his contract. Now, Ben Roethlisberger. I've always been a big supporter of Big Ben. He's won 2 Super Bowls. We played in 3. But anymore, when he gets sacked, I never know if he's going to get up, guys. He's definitely one of the greatest quarterbacks this franchise ever had, if not the greatest. There's a debate between a lot of people with that one, between him and Bradshaw, of course. But we definitely need to look at a quarterback to replace him within the next couple years. Because if we want to take that step to be a championship team, we got to think about the future, and we got to think about replacing Ben Roethlisberger. I'm just saying. I'm just being honest. It's business. I'm thinking about winning championships. It is what it is. But, I just think we need to look for a replacement for Ben real soon. Coming draft, we got, I think in the first round, I heard today that they're talking about drafting a linebacker again. But I think with as bad as our secondary is, I mean, they give up a lot of yards, but they do intercept the ball, they force turnovers, and our defense gets sacks, but they give up a lot of yards, which is not good. But you have to remember, this was the first year under Keith Butler. Players might not have known the system yet. I'm just saying. I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm just saying. I think we got to get a cornerback or a safety in the draft, first round. Even first and second if you can. A defensive tackle, like I said earlier, would be great. A quarterback and even more offensive linemen. Maybe even a power back if we could get one somewhere deep in the draft would be cool. These are just some of the positions I think we should draft. Everybody has different opinions. This is just my opinion. I did see today where we signed a return man who played for the Bears. First name is Levi, I believe. Can't remember the last name. Sorry, guys. Don't hate me for it. But yeah, because Dre Archer and Jacoby Jones just couldn't return anything. I mean, they couldn't return a broken TV to fucking Walmart, man. I mean, it was just horrible. Special teams is our weakness. We definitely need a punter and a kickoff returner to help us out, man. But, you know, those are the moves that I think should be made, or those are ideas for moves that should be made if we want to be a championship team to move forward. I would love to see Pittsburgh stack up this defense. I would love to see them just stack up the defense. Could you imagine how good the Steelers would be if they had an elite defense again with that offense? They'd be pretty damn good in my opinion. But this is Josh here from Inside Wrestling Truth. This is just my review of the 2015 Steelers. Shout out to Mac Man and Bruin Steel, Steeler Rod, and Renegade 412, and all the Steeler Nation out there. Super Bowl's this Sunday. Carolina going to destroy Denver Broncos, in my opinion. How can you beat 7 Super Bowls and only have 2 rings? That just shows you how valuable Terrell Davis was to that Denver team, and he should be in the Hall of Fame along with Kevin Green. And Isaac Bruce, Marvin Harrison definitely need to go in before T.O. Just my opinion. But I'm probably done with Steeler videos for a while till the draft, free agency, or something of that nature. But I see you guys soon, man. Peace.